Hello guys, this is Ray from nextforextrade.com. Today is August the 7th, 2019. It's a Wednesday, and I'm just going to kick off with a trade that I discussed yesterday that had gone against me. So this is a loss that was taken on this trade, and as you can see here, it was around about the 2% mark that the loss came in. Now, I was perfectly happy with this setup. I mean, there was nothing wrong with this setup. It was a high probability trade. It's just sometimes the possible happens and you do get stopped out. But if I saw the same setup again, it's highly likely it is something that I would take, again as well. What happened, we can see that my entry was based on the daily chart here. We've got lower lows, lower highs. The price is within a standard deviation channel. I deem the price to be overbought. My entry was around about here. We can actually get the exact price. So the price that was entered at was 853. Let's call it 853.40. So just get out a horizontal and add that in. Okay, and I'll get rid of this one here just so things aren't confused. So my entry was here. My stop loss was above this low, what I assumed was a lower high here. Which also encountered a lot of resistance as well that we'd seen previously from these levels. This previous support, this previous resistance here, gave good reason to believe that this level here could be quite difficult to get through. Now, what happened is I got stopped out with my stop loss above here. And this was today. You can see this massive candle here come and take out the previous lower high. And incurred that loss, but I'm not disappointed by that. There's nothing to be frustrated about with that. It's just the way the market goes sometimes. It's the way she goes. But good thing is beginning of the week as well. So we're midweek now. So I will just have to see how if any opportunities come up tomorrow. And possibly take a position, but there is a good likelihood I won't be trading until next week again. So there is some drawdown on the account, but no big deal. But what I'll do now is just have a sift through the market, just see some things that might pop out. So at the moment, what we've got here, AUD CAD, this is quite oversold at the moment, so this ideally would need some sort of a pullback. Could be looking at this move here, in fact, on the daily, just the extension that we've seen in this move here, and look for retracements off of that. No, no, changed my mind on that. Looking for this bigger move here. So basically a deeper pullback here, a deeper retrace with signs of reversal is what we need. So that's not tradable. Let's just have a look at the next one. This AUD CHF looks like it's bottoming out. Potential reversal candle there. I mean, one thing with reversal candles, for them to have meaning, is firstly they need to be at the end of an extension, so that's valid. Ideally as well, what you want to see is encountering some kind of support. So looking at this candle here, we can see just on a daily there's nothing really that it interacts with. And I'll just look at the weekly to see if that has any context. Okay, so the weekly, it's an all-time low. Oh my god, yeah, it's nearing an all-time low that was way back in 2015. So that is quite a significant level. We can see that this week it's AD CHF has touched an all-time low, and we've seen a reversal candle. So what I mean, the things to look out for here, you could be trading the reversal on this if you do fades, so you're looking to go counter trend. there's already been some flattening, flattening out and signs of potential upward movement on the lower time frames. We're seeing the 5 minute showing higher highs and higher lows. 15-minute isn't there yet, neither is the hourly, neither is the 4 hourly. So it might be just a bit too premature to consider taking a conservative based long position on this if you were to fade it. But if you were to go for the more aggressive approach for this, to take this position to the long side, then certainly a stop under this level here would make sense underneath this this candle. As well, bear in mind this candle hasn't formed on the day, so this is still forming. So although it's touched this level and has the potential to be a reversal candle, it hasn't closed yet. So really the most conservative approach that you can take to this is to wait for the end of day today, and if you are considering a fade on this, to consider a stop loss underneath these levels and look for signs of upward movement in these lower time frames. So higher highs and higher lows in the at least a 15-minute hourly. Probably wouldn't be viable in the 4 hourly, just because there's not going to be enough time for that to take out this previous lower high here. But yeah, that's something to consider. ADJPY, similar story, I would assume, since they're quite correlated. Yeah, so this, you see this low here that we've got way back here. That's a different low actually. That's 2019. Let's just see what's on the weekly. No, it's a different story, but I mean it's a similar. So I'm just looking for previous support levels here to see how significant this most recent low here is based on the weekly. It does look quite significant. So again, you could be looking for fades on this. I would certainly wait for this candle to close. Same story as the previous one we looked at. It's looking very oversold in terms of it interacting with this lower edge of the standard deviation channel. So if we see a very bottomy type candle here, and then moving to the lower time frame, signs of upward movement in terms of higher highs and higher lows, kind of seeing it on the 15-minute, but the hourly isn't as of yet. That would be a viable fade trade. Same story here. Same story with this one. Viable fades. Yeah, all of these are looking very oversold at the moment. This price action isn't ideal, but I can still see some opportunity in it. It's the same. Let's see how far back this goes. Ooh, I don't want a grid. So we've got contacts there. Yeah, I mean it's some decent zonal support there. So again, if you do these type of fade trades, then I would certainly think my way of thinking is high risk. So 0.5% to 1% of my capital is something that I would consider on fades. If I did take those type of positions, I may take them. We'll see how this goes. But I mean, for now in these videos, I'm trying to avoid doing those and just stick to the easier with trend type trades. Just because it just keeps things consistent. But yeah, if you do consider these to do them yourself, then my approach to these is to think reduced risk, so 0.5% to 1%, whereas with trend type trades, I would risk anything between 1 and 2% in any one position. That's not great. Price movement. No. 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 Yeah, this looks interesting. The euro, the way we've seen these lower highs here, lower lows. This previous candle, let's just see how that top has interacted. So this high here has there's arguably some zonal support, previous highs it's interacted with. So this gives a reference point for the stop loss. The only tricky thing about this candle is the length of it. With it being so kind of long, it means that the stop loss needs to be that much further away, which means if you're going for, extrapolating what the one-to-one reward to risk would be, it just means it's a much further distance that the price would need to fall. But having said that, there is enough scope for that to the downside, because I'd anticipate the price to, find some support possibly here at the average, or here at the lower edge where it's kind of gone to that oversold zone. So really on the euro, what would need to be seen for me is for the lower time frames to start showing lower lows and lower highs. Now viably, we've possibly seen that on the hourly. It's not great as of yet because it's still within this standard deviation channel as it goes up, but what I'm looking at is of the way that this high here is now lower than this one. This potentially could be a lower low if we see the price move past this low, right? So break this previous low here, it would be breaking previous supports, previous highs here, that was previous resistance. So that would be a good sign. If it comes down and then pulls back, that would then mean our standard deviation has the context of moving from here down to here, and we'd look for reversals off of the upper edge. It's still morning here in the UK, so that's 9:30. So in the course of the day, there could viably be an entry on the euro USD, but for me it's still early doors really to consider that just yet. GBP AUD, this is a very similar movement to what we saw on the trade I took on the GBP NZD, obviously, because they're very correlated. So at the moment, this still has potential as a setup for me, but it just needs, the timing isn't right at the moment. So I need for today's candle to close, and then possibly on Thursday, tomorrow, I'll look for shorts on this. But it all depends on today's candle closing. GBP CAD, this will be interesting. I mean, today already it's come up here. Well, we need today's candle to close again, really. So that's a no for now. No, too oversold. Already looked at that. No. Oh, the pound is, I think the pound's coming to all-time lows. Let's see. Let's bring up the monthly here. Yeah, I mean the pound's nearing its all-time low. So I'd anticipate some sort of reaction as it comes to these type of levels, but prefer to read the price rather than to speculate too much on what may or may not happen. Just wait for the price to give triggers really, to help guide the decision. But at the moment, it's kind of been flattening out on the lower time frames. It's looking kind of oversold here. It's moved back to find some resistance here as well. It really is a wait and see, especially as it comes towards these lows here. I'd just be looking to see how it reacts really to how you may consider an entry. NZD CAD, no. NZD New Zealand, NZD Japanese yen, no. And let's just have another one. Kiwi USD, no. No. Swiss franc. No. Yen. No. No, I think that's it. And Bitcoin I've got on here as well. Don't trade Bitcoin, but may find this useful for those of you who do. Well, this was a key level that it broke through. I think I spoke about this last week. We've seen this is the daily where we've seen a reversal candle, if you like, yesterday off of the average of the standard deviation, which it doesn't really mean much in this context here. I wouldn't really be looking at that as a reversal candle. It's just floating in midair. And as I said, what to buy this, because of the way it kind of opened and was quite overbought as it moved up, what I said was to wait for some value for money and for wait to it bought. So it opened on Monday here and kind of stretched up to these kind of levels. So what I was saying at that point is to wait for it to pull back within this standard deviation channel, which is what we're starting to see here. So there is better value for money in taking longs on this, but what the ideal situation would be to see a reversal candle off of these standard deviation lower channel. Also, yeah, scratch that. I'd want to see also in the daily. So now, because the price has progressed a bit, what I'd want to see in the daily as well is it find support again in the daily. So if the price were to come down in the daily, so it wouldn't be today, but for the close, we're on now Wednesday. So if Thursday's candle were to find support off of this level as a reversal candle or just interact with it, then on the Friday or Monday, it would be a case of looking for this kind of price action in the lower time frame. So the hourly or the 4 hourly would probably be the better reference point there. But yeah, wait and see. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to stay flat for now. But I'll be back tomorrow with anything else that I might see in the market. Like I said, the only thing really that has any potential at the moment, I think, was a Euro USD. See how that progresses in terms of potentially taking a position. But that's it for today. Feel free to leave any comments or ask any questions that you have, and I will see you in the next video.